Good afternoon. This is Dr. David A. Paget. This is the fourth segment of the May 11th Urban Geography course for Maymester 2021 at Tennessee State University. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And so because of a little slight change in plans, I decided to have a working session. Let me go back. Am I still in the student view? Okay. A working session on the individual class project. And like I said, this might not take as long as I'm thinking. So let's see, it is this one. And so if you remember the first time I was walking you through how to populate the spreadsheet. A couple of these links were not, had changed. So here's the database that we filled out thus far, or at least. So remember, I'm just doing Indianapolis. You all should do all four of your cities. So we got almost everything done except for the COVID-19 risk index, which is field I. Actually, it's the COVID Policy Alliance COVID-19 risk index. So let me just show you how to get that. It's a little tricky. Yeah, it's all right. So here's the dashboard. So what you should do is, right now this says facility risk. We want to go to demographic risk, which is the risk of the population. And let's see, now we want to go to the state. So my city is Indianapolis. So I'm going to click on Indiana. Notice that the map changes to Indiana. And so Indianapolis is in Marion County. So if you notice, you don't really get, it's not the best functionality in the world. So I'm going to click on Marion County. Notice I don't get a whole lot of information. But notice here on the right, you have the counties in Indiana that is ranked in terms of risk. So the risk factor is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for example, Shelby County, Indiana is a 6, so on and so forth. But notice we don't see Marion County. So notice here you have the number of counties that will show up. So I'm going to change this to 40. And now notice, now I can scroll down until I see Marion County. So Marion County, on a scale of 1 to 6, is a 3. So I will put that 3 here as the COVID-19 risk index number. Yeah, not the most user-friendly way of getting at things. And I think that so the factors, what's good is that at least they do tell you what the factors, what the index is based upon. So it's based upon underlying health conditions, hypertension, diabetes, and obesity. So the assumption is counties or cities that have high hypertension, diabetes, and obesity variables will have a greater risk. Does that play out in reality? Well, you won't know that until you look at the actual COVID-19 data in the next part of the assignment. Let's see. Then the other variable that didn't show up last time was asthma. Uh, but I did find it here. Let's see if this will behave today. So just get this link, the Centers for Disease Control Places site. And this is a site that provides data on health at the census tract level. And then here's the interactive map. Here it says view the map. Click there. It'll take a little while to load. Still loading up. Then what I would do is zoom in, whoa. So you want to have the cities or counties. There's Indianapolis, that's Marion County right there. And that's arthritis. So be very careful. So I've got arthritis. I'm going to click on asthma. Darn it. I thought it was zooming all the way back out. So here's Indianapolis. Click right there. And it says here that now this is adult asthma. So we're not going to get pediatric asthma here. But at least we get adult asthma. And so it's 10.9%. And so again, we go here, percent of adults with asthma, 10.9. Again, do not put you got to get that percent sign out of there. I don't know what, anyway. Format cells, number. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Put 10.9. Hopefully that will resolve it. Boom. Okay, so now there's two more variables. I think the last time we spoke, I mentioned, there are some sources where you can get more variables. You can go to ArcGIS Online, Living Atlas of the World. You can look up whatever other variable you would like at the city level. I need to get the link to the Enviro Atlas and put it into the assignment. Or you can just Google Environmental Protection Agency Enviro Atlas. So there are a lot of other sites, the EJ Screen Mapper, where you can look at various issues on a city scale. So one of the risk factors that I mentioned specifically at the census was number of people per household. So again, for the census, we go to Explore Data main, click, scroll down to Quick Facts, click, and I'm using Indianapolis, Indiana. Click, get my data, and let's see, persons per household, 2.51. So I'll take this, I'll make this my free variable, 2 persons per household. And that's from the census. And then another variable, oh man. Let's see, we got race already. Oh, there's another variable. Let me see. Some variables you can think about might be percent of the population employed in hospitality. That's restaurants, that's people who might work in hotels. So if you can find a reliable database, keyword reliable database that has percent of people employed in hospitality, I'm thinking there's a business census that might have that data. There's a business census or economic census. Excuse me. There's an economic census. Let's see. I'm looking for. Here's poverty. That might just. I don't think we had poverty. That I could throw that in there. I'm trying to find. Oh, so let's see. Where's. Darn it! No unemployment. Let's see. I'm looking for. Might not be in here. Just looking for unemployment by city. I mean, so whatever you find, don't just go out and Google it and just paste whatever you find via Google in your spreadsheet. It has to be a verifiable source. The easiest place to do is look in the census. Well, let's just. I'm here. I wanted to find unemployment, but it's not here. It's not here. But finding unemployment rates per city. I mean, why would just throw it out there as a question? Why would place of employment even already answer the question? Why we look at types of employment as a indicator of vulnerability? I just answered the question. But, of course, the cities that have higher percentages of people employed in hospitality would be at greatest risk. So a place like Las Vegas. So Las Vegas was hit extremely hard by COVID-19. I mean, all those people that working in casinos and restaurants, and that's almost their economy is almost entirely based upon hospitality. Maybe Orlando, Florida might be another place if you find various segments of employment. Maybe if you have, I don't know if we have percent of people who are foreign born. Okay, languages other than English spoken at home. Let's see, it's 13. That's below, for Indianapolis is below average. Language other than English spoken at home. That might be an indicator. So I was just going to use poverty, but anyway, pick two variables on your own of your own. So my variable would be I'm just going to call it English as second language just for time's sake. And as it's a percentage. So let's see. So notice I didn't put, maybe I'll type it in, then put percent. So it'll automatically change the percent. 13.8%. Which interestingly enough is below average, far below average. Any variable that you look at, you want to compare it to the national data. So here we had where is it? Oh man, they do have foreign born persons. Well, I'll use this language as a. So notice that Indianapolis has a relatively lower than the national average is 21.6%. And I didn't even put that in there accurately. I shouldn't have put, you know what? I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. That is, I put English as second language. That's not really accurate, but that's what I put in my spreadsheet. I would go back and change it. So, once you get the data for all 4 of your cities in this spreadsheet and it's populated, then the next step, well, I already showed you how to get the latitude and longitude, find the landmark. So the next step is to save this as a CSV file. Same thing, and then pull it into your map. And then this time, instead of having food resource, you'll have points on the map. Copy and paste your map in the space below, upload your spreadsheets. I'm not gonna, don't worry about this draft one, the term paper. We're just gonna turn, you can submit drafts anytime. Usually I grade a draft just so that, but in this case, if you want me to look at your paper at any time, just let me know. So just ignore that. I'm gonna have to fix that also. So symbolize at least 5 variables. I guess we can, during next week's meet, but by symbolize different variables, what I mean by that is, I'll have to show you something. Let me see. Okay, so let's say this is the map you've created and you want to produce maps that have different symbolizations, if that is a word. So you go to content and, oh, no. Yeah, you go to content. Yeah, you go to content, go to the layer itself, click on this triangle circle thing here, just click on that. And then in the drop down menu, you'll see all of some of the various variables that you'll use to determine how vulnerable your cities are. So let's say one of the major variables is percent population over 65. So we're going to do that one, and change, then you'll hit done. Okay, then we'll go to the legend. And so let me zoom in a little bit. So here you can compare where your variables are with this city, with where your cities are in terms of this variable. Then same thing, print map legend, and there's your map with your cities, and the variable is percent over 65. What the heck? Okay, clearly I'm gonna have to do that over again. How do we get that all in the same frame? Sometimes you might have to just do it, take the other way around it, but this way, wouldn't get all that into the same frame for some reason. Well, Houston's not in the frame. Okay, geez. Anyway, well, this is how you would have all that variable, and you just play with it. I guess I might have to zoom out some. And now try it again. Okay, there we go. And just keep playing with it. But here you can clearly see that perhaps, which would you'd expect? Pensacola, Florida. Florida is a retirement magnet or retirees magnet. And so again, I think the national average for percent population over 65 is about 12%. But we have to be careful with this variable, because if we go back into the database itself and we look at the numbers of people over 65, Pensacola, the percentage is higher, but there's 8,900 people in that age group. Whereas in Houston, even though the percentage is smaller, if you click on Houston, they've got 232,000 people age 65 and over. So in this case, maybe the better variable to display might not be the percentage, it might be rather the raw number of people over 65. Which might give us a better idea of the level of vulnerability. So, you know, we have to be careful with how we symbolize our variables so that we get maps that present to us what we want to know in terms of vulnerability. So that's how we would change from one variable to another. And this is on, I was going to say on tape, but it's not. It's been recorded. Or like I said, if you need help with any of this, I'm not going anywhere until after class is over and a little while after that. So I'll be around this weekend. You know, mom's good. Spent Mother's Day weekend with her. She's good. I'm an only child, so I can't shuffle mom off of my brothers or sisters or siblings. I have to go home. So I'm not. So I'll be here. If you need any help with this, I don't want you to get hung up on the technical aspects or the mapping aspects, even though the experience is good. Just get some experience. I had a student in my class this spring, and she was really good with the GIS. And it just so happens that the League of Women Voters is hiring people to help with the voting district mapping. And she's a political science major, so that's in her area of interest. So, of course, now the Republicans are riled up, and the dominant party in each state draws the congressional and various voting districts, state representatives, and it's done every 10 years based upon the census. And so last year, of course, was a census year, and then now it's time to redraw those lines. And they asked me if I knew of a student that had GIS experience, and so I think you know, it's a pretty decent part-time job. She worked virtually. It's $20 per hour. And so you never know if, well, some of you all will be hired out of this class to continue working over the summer if you want to. I don't know, maybe if you want to. I'll make the offer. If you're interested, you know, just discreetly send me a resume. If you're interested. If not, fine. I notice the student who graduated, some of you might know her, Joey Batts. She was a biochemistry major, so she worked in all these cities. We went to New Orleans, Pensacola. Yeah, so she worked in my lab for like 3 years. And had another biology major, Gabby Mabiad, worked in my lab for a while. And so you might think, oh, I'm a biochemistry major. I'm not interested in this. Hey, there's a lot of health issues involved in this environmental justice research. Okay, it's probably somebody telling me class is over. So I think we're at the end. 2 minutes over. Sorry about that. So if you have any questions about anything, let me know. And what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow we'll be back. yeah, we'll be talking about the class project in detail tomorrow and something else. But okay, I will see you all tomorrow, bright and early, 12:30 in the afternoon.
See you tomorrow, Dr.
All right.
Penny. Bye. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Have a good day.
Welcome. You too.